Just a few comments, because I heard so many interesting topics and ideas, suggestions. So I wanted just to reply and to say that my first reaction is the importance of the brand, and the fact that this kind of initiative has a brand like Boston, with all the consequences of that. Boston has the history of the US, a place like the one we are here now, a place where maybe some years ago you started thinking that the different fields, social sciences, hard sciences, need to be combined, because we are at the end of the period in which different fields, they are not able to communicate, and because the big challenges in the future, they need to have different point of views. So my reaction is that it's so crucial to think that in the US and from the US and from Boston, dear Governor Dukakis, there's this ambition to speak with the rest of the world, because one of the problems of the US politics is to consider that the rest of the world, it's an amazing place to have vacations, or but the rest of the world is active and on AI, as Zlatko just mentioned. In Europe, for instance, there's this idea to have a double level of discussion. The European Union, with all the regulatory approach to the directives, to the rules, because the internal market is it's our treasure. But at the same time, we launched in October in Prague, and the next meeting will take place in Chisinau in Moldova. I take the opportunity to explain how big is this choice. You have to consider that June the 1st, 44 European leaders, so the 27 from the European Union plus the UK, Norway, Switzerland, Turkey, all the Balkan countries, will be all together for the entire day in Chisinau, 60 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. 44 leaders all together. I think it's a great signal. And the event of this new entity, it's not an institution until now, the name is European Political Community, is the way to put together the 27 plus the rest of the European countries which are not part of the European Union. This meeting there, big signal. Chisinau altogether, it's a great signal. But at the same time, one of the topics that in Chisinau will be probably on the table of the leaders, and the next two meetings in October in Granada in Spain, and next year in the first part of the year in the UK, will be cybersecurity and the role of technology, data, and artificial intelligence. So it is exactly what Zlatko just said. And for me, it's so important because it's a demonstration that the European Union is trying to relaunch on this topic, and to relaunch beyond the usual approach, only rules, but also with the wisdom that you mentioned. And so my point is that it's crucial to work crossing borders also among organizations. It is not just for states, it's not just for governments. It is necessary when we talk when we mentioned artificial intelligence, when we mention technology in relationship with politics, there are so many different point of views that are necessary. I think David just mentioned some of them before, and all of you in your presentations and what we heard from the civil society intervention from India and the one from Japan, it is exactly the same. So my point is that it is time for this alliance. It is time to work, and it is possible to do so trying to cross our borders and to meet people, organizations that before Tuan mentioned the Vatican. I think religions are important here. All the religions meeting together, trying to put all the ethical approaches related to that. And this is why I attach great importance to this discussion today. And I think all the different suggestions, the ideas, the approaches, and I hope and I strongly hope, this is why, and I stop here, this is why I mentioned that Boston Global Forum and Boston as brand can be so important, because if it is the Brussels Global Forum, yes, it's natural. Brussels is the place where usually we discuss about roles and so on. But Boston Global Forum can be, I think, a great bridge, great initiative, and I hope a great initiative also for American politics that next year will have such an important moment. I conclude just one suggestion, one point, that is next year will be the year in which some pillars of democracies in the world will have in the same year the electoral year. The UK, the US, the European Union. We'll have the European Union elections, the UK elections, and the US elections at the same time, same year, in the year in which democracy is under attack. So I think maybe discussions like the one we are having can be really clever, interesting, and very meaningful. Thank you.